Episode 56, CK, April 14, 2023. The smoke signal issue. The I wish my wood-burning neighbor would ghost me issue. Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, CRAWSEpresidents.wordpress.com, and scroll down for PDFs of articles with URLs to search on. And on the website are links to 10-minute TikTok and YouTube videos and 30-minute podcasts on Spotify and Podbean. According to a New York Times article, in the modern parlance of the young, to ghost means to unilaterally cut off communication without warning or explanation. Ghosting has become a seemingly inescapable part of the modern dating scene, but we pay far less attention to it as a phenomenon between friends. I wish my wood-burning neighbor would ghost me. We have a relationship with issues. We have never spoken, because I communicate best using my words on paper or on the internet, rather than by a speech, as demonstrated by my recent hurried, wooden, pun intended, recitation during the EPA hearings for lowering the PM2.5 limits in February. My neighbor communicates through what I interpret as hostile smoke signals. We are acquaintances, however, and will remain so based on our proximity as near neighbors. Hopefully, we will be neighbors living in harmony after my near neighbor's wood stove burning pollution is shut down by the health department or other government authorities. At that time, if the smoke signal communication is shut down without warning or explanation, unless the health department informs me that their actions are behind the smoke pollution stopping, I will be satisfied that our communication has ended, unless as garbage begins suddenly to be deposited in my front lawn, for instance, which might be a typical action on his part based on our relationship so far. I have spent a little too much time for my mental health parsing why wood burners burn, and walking a mile in their shoes. They have my attention, but I'm also extremely bored with people who spend their time polluting other people's air. I'm just not that into him. I hope that feeling can last, and not be interrupted by a cloud of mysterious, but ultimately uninteresting smoke. I hope he takes up a different, but interesting, hobby as replacement for wood burning, a hobby which does not harm the health near neighbors, a pursuit which is achievable. His ghosting of me, by stopping the hostile smoke signals, will not be a phenomenon between friends, but on my part one see a future of coexistence. Let's both live lightly on the earth and contribute to future clean air. Kumbaya. Friendship Ghost. New York Times. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity. Ghosting, when someone unilaterally cuts off communication without warning or explanation, has become a seemingly inescapable part of the modern dating scene, but we pay far less attention to it as a phenomenon between friends. Rozep view. For residential wood burners who are indigent, the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program can help the indigent obtain clean home energy solutions, such as the new heat pumps that operate at temperatures well below 0 Fahrenheit. EPA Press Office. Thursday, April 13, 11:49 a.m., 1 day ago. Issued, April 13, 2023. Biden-Harris administration announces $177 million for 17 new technical assistance centers across the nation to help communities access historic investments to advance environmental justice. EPA's Thriving Communities Technical Assistance Centers include a network of over 160 partners to provide resources to unlock access to President Biden's historic investments in America. The EPA Tech program is part of the federal interagency Thriving Communities Network and delivers on the Biden-Harris administration's Justice 40 initiative to ensure that 40% of the benefits of certain federal investments flow to disadvantaged communities. The new technical assistance centers will help ensure communities with environmental justice concerns can access President Biden's historic investments in America to address generational disinvestment, legacy pollution, infrastructure challenges, and build a clean energy economy that will lower energy costs, strengthen our energy security, and meet our climate goals. Today's announcement builds on the $100 million announced earlier this year under the Environmental Justice Government to Government Program and the Environmental Justice Collaborative Problem-Solving Cooperative Agreement Program, with applications due on April 14, 2023. EPA has also announced $550 million through the Environmental Justice Thriving Communities Grant-Making Program, with applications due May 31, 2023. Learn more about the selectees, their partners, and the EPA Tech program. Learn more about environmental justice at EPA. United States. Calls for logged wood to be excluded from the Renewable Energy Directive fall on deaf ears. Science, business. That is because burning wood emits more carbon than burning coal for each kilowatt-hour of energy produced, and because intact, living trees are. The danger of wood burners in our homes. MSN. It also contains a high level of particulate matter, PM2.5, the most damaging form of air pollution to human health. It is linked to an increase. Arizona, Relito. Cold. Avoid the use of leaf blowers. If burning wood for heat or food preparation, use dry wood. Burning wet wood releases more particulate matter. High pollution advisory issued for Relito Thursday, Tucson. Cold. If burning wood for heat or food preparation, use dry wood. Burning wet wood releases more particulate matter. Arkansas, Northwest. Prescribed burns, smoke, Northwest Arkansas. The Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Prescribed burns, smoke, Northwest Arkansas. By Ron Wood, today, at 11:11 a.m. A worker with the U.S. Forest Service lights a prescribed burn-in. California, Van Nuys. Large fire burns, Van Nuys office building. YouTube. A large fire burned an office building on Kester, near Van Owen, in Van Nuys, at about 3:30. DIY wood burning technique, that's not show Sugi ban. Indiana, Wayne County, and Randolph County. IDEM extends Air Quality Action Day for Friday in 2 counties due to recycling plastics. By why? Weather conditions will continue to spread the smoke. Avoid burning wood in fireplaces or wood-fired boilers and any other unnecessary fires. IDEM extends Air Quality Action Day for Friday in 2 counties due to recycling plastics. By why? IDEM is forecasting elevated levels of fine particles, PM2.5, in the air due in part to smoke from a fire at a recycling plastics warehouse in. Air quality alerts issued in Wayne, Randolph counties due to industrial fire, WRTV. Avoid burning wood in fireplaces or wood-fired boilers and any other unnecessary fires. Reduce activity time outdoors to reduce unhealthy exposure. Excerpt edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity. IDEM extends Air Quality Action Day for Friday in 2 counties due to recycling plastics warehouse fire in Richmond, Indianapolis. The Indiana Department of Environmental Management, IDEM, has issued Air Quality Action Days, AQAD, through Friday, April 14, 2023, in 2 eastern Indiana counties. Iowa, Ames. Ames Council allows person to keep living in bus on street, looks to expand current laws. The Ames Tribune. That ordinance, for example, prohibits people from parking an RV on. The city's fire code does not prohibit wood-burning stoves in vehicles. Episode 56 CL. Michigan, Newaygo. No open burning due to fire danger, Newaygo company says, WOODTV.com. WOODTV.com. Wood, there is a high fire danger due to strong winds and warm temperatures in Newaygo County. The county is currently not allowing open. Minnesota, northern St. Louis County. Walls tours with stove plant in tower, the Timber J. The Timber J. The company, largely through the efforts of Daryl Lampa, has created North America's cleanest burning wood furnace, and they've been expecting. Nebraska, Omaha. Extreme fire danger, through Thursday, KLIN News/Talk 1400. CLIN. PM2.5 particulates. Air quality index, moderate to unhealthy for sensitive groups. Additional information is available from the National Weather. New Jersey, Manchester. Large wildfire shudders NJ Highway as columns of smoke are seen for miles. NJ.com. NJ.com. A large column of smoke emanating from a wildfire in Manchester could be. The Howell fire started as a result of a homeowner burning wood in a. New York, Adirondack. D.C., statewide burn ban is in effect. News, sports, jobs. Adirondack Daily Enterprise. Adirondack Daily Enterprise. The annual statewide ban prohibiting residential brush burning lasts. Only charcoal or dry, clean, untreated, or unpainted wood can be burned. New York, Westchester County. Fire danger warning issued for Westchester County. Westchester County Government. Latimer also noted that a statewide outdoor burn ban is in effect of any charcoal used in a grill or ashes from wood burned in a fireplace. North Carolina, Canton. Canton mill closure spells trouble for forestry industry. Yahoo News. Yahoo News. The loss of the pulpwood market that relied on the mill is. Despite emissions from wood burning, the European Union has determined wood is. Ohio, Columbus. Rosep View. It is important that there are people at the table who do not care about the ranking of air quality, but care about the existence and health effects of true levels of air quality. They are concerned about hyperlocalized PM2.5 monitoring to reflect true levels of PM2.5 that affect people in their neighborhoods. Ohio researchers question Columbus pollution ranking. NBC4. NBC4. IQ Air uses PM2.5, or fine particulate matter, one of a few metrics used to measure air quality, to rank countries and cities around the globe. Pennsylvania. EPA Press Office. Thursday, April 13, 10:51 a.m., 1 day ago. Issued, April 13, 2023, 11:44 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Advisory, under new EPA Climate Grant Program, Shapiro administration announces commitment to fight climate change. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, and the Shapiro administration will host a media event on Friday, April 14, 2023, at 11 a.m. to celebrate Earth Month and to discuss how Pennsylvania will combat climate change from the federal, state, and local levels. As part of the celebration, Acting Department of Environmental Protection Secretary Rich Negrin will join EPA Region 3 Administrator Adam Ortiz, Penvest Chairman Dr. Brian Regley, Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission Executive Director Ariella Marin, and Lehigh Valley Planning Commission Executive Director Becky Bradley will outline their plans to use federal funds under EPA's climate pollution reduction grant programs. What? Shapiro administration and EPA partner to fight climate change and celebrate Earth Month. Who? ICE. EPA Region 3 Administrator Adam Ortiz. Acting Department of Environmental Protection Secretary Rich Negrin. Penvest Chairman Dr. Brian Regley. Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission Executive Director Ariella Marin. Lehigh Valley Planning Commission Executive Director Becky Bradley. When? Friday, April 14, 2023 at 11 a.m. Where? Soldiers and Sailors Grove, Commonwealth Avenue and State Street, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 17101, across from the fountain. Rhode Island, Smithfield. Smoke billows from woods in Smithfield brush fire ABC 6. ABC 6. Crews were called to a fire in the woods at about 11:30 a.m. in the area of Douglas Pike. Smithfield Deputy Fire Chief Michael Dexter said the fire. Vermont. Rick Cowan, a burning problem with the Affordable Heat Act, BT Digger. BT Digger. Research from various countries confirms the inconvenient truth that wood combustion releases large amounts of carbon dioxide, methane, and particulate. Rick Cowan, a burning problem with the Affordable Heat Act, BT Digger. BT Digger. If you ignore the climate-altering gases and particulate pollution issuing from our chimneys, wood energy has many benefits. 74% of our state is. Wisconsin, Green Bay. What to do to prevent wildfires, WBAY. WBAY. They are doing any kind of burning, have the safety measures in check, and outdoor wood burners, improper ash disposal, Lubbers warned. Wisconsin, Waupaca County. Propane tank explosion destroys 5 buildings in Waupaca County, WLUK. Luck. The fire started in what Duman called a summer kitchen, a kitchen with a wood-burning stove. However, the fire is still under investigation. Lind fire causes propane tank to explode, Waupaca County Post. Waupaca County Post. 5 buildings damaged by flame, smoke. Which Waupaca Fire Chief Gerald Duman described as a summer kitchen with a wood-burning stove. New Zealand. Cyclone Gabrielle, fires and wood debris left behind by cyclone and emerging risk for Hawke's Bay. NZ Herald. Wood debris from their cyclone-hit properties resort to burning it. He said there had been an increase in burn-offs and nuisance fires. Cyclone Gabrielle, fires and wood debris left behind by cyclone and emerging risk for Hawke's Bay. NZ Herald. People trying to clear wood debris from their cyclone-hit properties resort to burning it. United States. UK, London. Unacceptable, stakeholders given just 10 days to respond to air quality strategy consultation. Ends report. Read more, Smoke and Mirrors, why hasn't a single fine been issued for smoke? However, despite emissions of PM2.5 from domestic wood burning. UK, Gloucester. Large North Jersey brush fire continues burning, Gloucester Daily Voice. Daily Voice. Update, authorities confirmed Wednesday night that a brush fire in West Milford that initially appeared contained had grown to 250 acres in size. Large North Jersey brush fire continues burning, Gloucester Daily Voice. Daily Voice. Update, authorities confirmed Wednesday night that a brush fire in West Milford that initially appeared contained had grown to 250 acres in size. Episode 56 CM. UK, Hampshire, Winchester. The danger of wood burners in our homes. Hampshire Chronicle. Hampshire Chronicle. Councillor Parker is to be congratulated for his concerns about woodburners, since the dangers of wood burning are often overlooked. View, as a commenter to this letter, wrote a well-argued letter highlighting the very real dangers of local air pollution caused by wood-burning fires. Yet the comments so far are trying to defend with national or global comparisons. Residential wood-burning affects near neighbors, who act like canaries in a coal mine. Near neighbors must tell others about their hyper-localized experience, so that society in the form of governments can react by passing out PM2.5 monitors to all near neighbors of wood stove burning PM2.5 polluters. Then governments must use the historic online data from each individual PM2.5 monitor to shut down residential wood burning that, from the evidence at the fence line, in this case the fence line is near neighbors' yards, shows that the emissions from the wood burner stack exceeds Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, in the untied states and government entity in the United Kingdom PM2.5 safe limits. In the United States, the PM2.5 safe limit is expected to be set at 8 micrograms per meter cubed annually and 25 micrograms per meter cubed daily. The World Health Organization, WHO, safe limit for PM2.5 is 5 micrograms per meter cubed annually. PM2.5 is particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. PM2.5 also contributes to climate change. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity. Letter. The danger of wood burners in our homes. April 13th. Environment. Hampshire. By letter to the editor. A wood burner. Stock image. Councillor Parker is to be congratulated for his concerns about woodburners, since the dangers of wood burning are often overlooked. The wood smoke from one log burner will pollute the air of an entire neighborhood. A Shepherd's Advertiser, Letters, March 31st, comments suggest that he has fallen hook, line, and sinker for the stove industry's marketing guff. Wood smoke contains arsenic, formaldehyde, toluene, benzene, and other known cancer-causing substances. It also contains a high level of particulate matter, PM2.5, the most damaging form of air pollution to human health. It is linked to an increased risk of cancer, heart disease, respiratory illness, and dementia. Who wants that being pumped into their neighborhood? Air quality scientists would like to see a ban on all log burners in urban areas because of their impact on public health. Neighbors are unable to control or prevent this kind of pollution exposure, since outdoor air quality affects indoor air quality. Smoke issued from a chimney doesn't just get blown away, but can sink to ground level and still be detected many hours after the stove has been extinguished, particularly in cold, still conditions. This air pollution affects indoor air quality as it seeps in via natural leakage points in a home. I can smell our neighbor's wood smoke inside our home frequently. Much is made of the cleaner stoves that are now available, but it's really important to note that even the newest eco-design stoves give off much more pollution than gas boilers or heat pumps. In fact, new research from the European Environmental Bureau has discovered that an eco-design stove is actually allowed to emit 750 times as much particulate matter as a truck from 2014. Eco-design stoves are not the clean air miracle they are being sold as. Air pollution levels triple inside a home when a log burner is in use. Wood burning may be a renewable form of energy, but it is certainly not sustainable. Not in the time frame that we have to bring down emissions. When wood is burned, the CO2 that was absorbed over the years that the tree was alive is released back into the atmosphere all at once, along with short-lived pollutants such as black carbon. Trees can be replanted, but it takes decades for those new trees to reabsorb the carbon that was emitted when their predecessors were burned. Burning wood is in fact very bad for the environment. Wood burning is an inefficient form of home heating. Of course, it is essential that everyone is warm and well in their own home, but the majority of log burners are used as a secondary form of heating for aesthetic purposes, not out of necessity. Thank you to Councillor Parker for his insightfulness on this matter. I hope that other councillors and local authorities will be similarly astute and protect residents from wood smoke pollution. Hazel Agomber. Egbert Road, Winchester. One comment on other commenters. This sadly is the inevitable response, calling this scaremongering and fake news, the letter writer criticized for working for an eco-charity. A well-argued letter highlighting the very real dangers of local air pollution caused by wood-burning fires. Yet the comments so far are trying to defend with national or global comparisons. We are doomed. UK, Lancashire. 4 acres of woods catch fire in Carnarvon Township on Tuesday, Lancaster Online. Lancaster Online. First arriving crews reported about an acre of woods on fire. Photographer spotted the smoke visible from Blue Ball and traveled toward the area. UK, Nottingham. Plan to fine offenders who emit chimney smoke in 41 areas of Gedling, Nottingham Post, Nottingham Post. Emitting smoke from chimneys through open fires, wood-burning stoves, or fixed boilers in these areas is prohibited unless specific criteria are met. India. Air quality remains in poor category in Patna, Times of India. Times of India. Pollutants like PM10, particulate matter less than 10 micron, and PM2.5, particulate matter less than 2.5 micron, concentration in the air. Environment Minister Gopal Rai asks DEPs to share detailed action plan to curb pollution in summer. India Today. The winter action plan implemented by the Delhi government during winter, there has been a steady decline in PM10 and PM2.5 in Delhi's air. Gopal Rai asks DEPs to prepare action plans to curb summer air pollution in 7. Outlook India. Outlook India. PM2.5 levels have decreased to 103 ppm in 2022 from 149 ppm in 2014. The number of severe air quality has come down from 26 days in 2016 to 6. Thailand. Chiang Mai celebrates its 727th anniversary amid PM2.5 chaos. English. Chaos English. However, Songkran in Chiang Mai is overshadowed by the forest fire crisis this year. The Center for the Prevention of Forest Fires, Smoke and PM2.5. Air pollution strikes tourism in Thailand, Al Mayadeen English. Al Mayadeen English. Global weather pattern and Chiang Mai's terrain, which traps pollution, drove PM2.5 into the perfect storm this year, the consultant said. This week, no one, hazardous Thai pollution deters tourists, France 24. France 24. Global weather pattern and Chiang Mai's topography, trapping pollution, conspired to drive PM2.5 into the perfect storm this year, he said. PM2.5 Health Effects, Rosep View, residential wood burning is 90% PM2.5. PM2.5 cardiovascular effect. Rosep View, residential wood burning is 90% PM2.5. Pollution exposure may counteract protective CV effects of physical activity, Helio. However, the associations disappeared for those with higher PM2.5 exposure. Air pollution in China increased active commuting was tied to reduced CVD. Excerpt edited by Rosep for brevity and clarity. Air pollution does not offset CV benefits of exercise. High levels of air pollution did not alter the benefits of physical activity on the incidence and recurrence of MI, according to a study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association. PM2.5 tuberculosis effect. Rosep View, residential wood burning is 90% PM2.5. Higher risk for tuberculosis diagnosis with wildfire smoke exposure, Helio. Researchers looked at each patient's exposure to particulate matter less than 2.5. Episode 56 CN. EPA Regional Offices. EPA has 10 regional offices across the country. For instance, Wisconsin is in Region 5. Region 1, Boston, serving CT, ME, MA, NH, RI, NVT. Region 2, New York City, serving NJ, New York, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and 8 federally recognized Indian nations. Region 3, Philadelphia, serving DE, DC, MD, PA, VA, WV, and 7 federally recognized tribes. Region 4, Atlanta, serving AL, FL, GA, KY, MS, NC, SC, and TN. Region 5, Chicago, serving IL, IN, MI, MN, OH, and WI. Region 6, Dallas, serving AR, LA, NM, OK, and TX. Region 7, Kansas City, serving IA, KS, MO, and NE. Region 8, Denver, serving CO, MT, ND, SD, UT, and WY. Region 9, San Francisco, serving AZ, CA, HINV, American Samoa, Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, Federated States of Micronesia, Guam, Marshall Islands, and Republic of Palau. Region 10, Seattle, serving AK, ID, or WA and 271 native tribes. Information about visiting regional offices. EPA organization chart. Regional office mailing addresses. Information about the lead region process. How EPA works with tribes. EPA news releases by location or region. Why are our regional offices located where they are? Read a historical perspective on citing our facilities. New York City and Washington, D.C. EPA's Region 2 office covers New York, New Jersey, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and 8 tribal nations. WEACT. WEACT's staff is made up of a dynamic team of activists, lawyers, community organizers, public health experts, and local Northern Manhattan residents. We are committed to the mission of achieving environmental and climate justice both in New York City and nationwide. https://www.weact.org/whowhere. What we do. Areas of work. Current campaigns. 2023 policy agenda. We act in New York City. We act in New York State. We act in Washington, D.C. Environmental health and justice leadership training. Worker training and job readiness program. We act coronavirus information and updates. Black Lives Matter, we act solidarity statement. EPA Press Office. Issued April 13, 2023. Biden-Harris administration selects We Act to serve as new technical assistance center to help communities across Region 2 access historic investments to advance environmental justice. EPA's Thriving Communities Technical Assistance Centers include a network of over 160 partners to provide resources to unlock access to President Biden's historic investments in America. Contact Stephen McBay, 212-637-3672, mcbay.stephen@epa.gov. New York, April 13, 2023. Today, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, announced West Harlem Environmental Action Incorporated, We Act for Environmental Justice, has been selected to serve as an Environmental Justice Thriving Communities Technical Assistance Center, EJTCAX, that will receive about $10 million over the next 5 years to help communities across the region access funds from President Biden's Investing in America agenda. This includes historic investments to advance environmental justice. From day one of his administration, President Biden made achieving environmental justice a top priority. Through the Investing in America agenda, the Biden-Harris administration will continue to support and strengthen communities that, for too long, were left out and left behind. We know that so many communities across the nation have the solutions to the environmental challenges they face. Unfortunately, many have lacked access or faced barriers when it comes to the crucial federal resources needed to deliver these solutions, said EPA Administrator Michael S. Reagan. Today we're taking another step to break down these barriers. Establishing these environmental justice thriving communities technical assistance centers across the nation will ensure all communities can access benefits from the President's historic agenda, which includes groundbreaking investments in clean air, clean water, and our clean energy future. For far too long, overburdened, underserved, and rural communities have lacked the resources and technical assistance they need from the federal government to overcome barriers critical to their energy needs and create new, long-lasting economic opportunities, said U.S. Secretary of Energy Jennifer M. Granholm. Thanks to President Biden's Investing in America agenda, DOE now has historic levels of new funding to pull from to help revitalize disadvantaged communities across the nation and ensure they're not left behind in our transition to a clean energy future. This program is a game changer. It ensures that communities will get the support and assistance needed to apply for funding from different federal programs, said Regional Administrator Lisa F. Garcia. This grant funding allows We ACT to provide essential support and resources to help communities access federal funding opportunities and address their environmental and public health challenges. We would like to thank Administrator Michael Reagan and Regional Administrator Lisa Garcia for this opportunity to help environmental justice communities throughout the region gain access to the funds and other resources needed to address the legacy of environmental racism and disinvestment that has burdened them with environmental health inequities, said Peggy Shepard, co-founder and executive director of We Act for Environmental Justice. We have assembled a strong team of partners, including the Clean Energy Group, Columbia University Climate School, Environmental Protection Network, Inter-American University, New Jersey Environmental Justice Alliance, New York University School of Law Institute for Policy Integrity, and South Ward Environmental Alliance, and we look forward to launching our Technical Assistance Center in the coming months. I was proud to lead the Inflation Reduction Act to passage, which is the largest investment in environmental justice and fighting climate change to date. And part of that historic investment is EPA's newly created Thriving Community Technical Assistance Centers, said U.S. Senator Charles Schumer, New York. There is no organization better equipped to serve as one of these centers than WEACT, which, under the able leadership of Peggy Shepard, will provide vital support to communities facing environmental justice issues and will ensure federal resources are distributed to address the challenges many communities have faced for generations. Having impactful organizations like WEACT doing good work on the ground in New York City is an important step towards righting the wrongs of our past and increasing federal investment in disadvantaged communities. For over 30 years, We ACT has done critical work to promote environmental justice through community-driven change, said Senator Gillibrand, New York. I am proud to have helped secure the historic levels of funding in the Inflation Reduction Act dedicated to confronting environmental inequities, and I believe We Act is uniquely positioned to ensure that communities throughout New York State are able to access those opportunities. I congratulate We Act for receiving this well-deserved designation and look forward to seeing the work it does with this new funding. The Environmental Justice Thriving Communities Technical Assistance Centers will provide New Jersey with vital assistance and training needed to support and address environmental justice concerns within communities across the state, said Senator Menendez, NJ. Through the help of these centers, New Jerseyans, no matter the language they speak, will be able to move forward with their initiatives by confidently writing grant proposals, effectively implementing the funding they receive, and successfully engaging the surrounding community. Economic justice and social justice are intrinsically linked with environmental justice, said Senator Booker, NJ. Every day, communities of color, low-income communities, and indigenous communities across the U.S. disproportionately bear the burden of pollution. That is why I am proud to see federal resources go exactly where they should, directly into environmental justice communities where organizers and community members can address on-the-ground issues. I know that WEACT will work closely and in partnership with New Jersey's EJ communities and organizations to confront the environmental justice challenges they have been facing for generations. Episode 56CO. Like many states around the country, New York has faced unprecedented environmental challenges. However, thanks to the $10 million grant provided by the Environmental Protection Agency, West Harlem Environmental Action Incorporated, We Act, will help identify and address some of the environmental issues that communities in New York are facing, said Congresswoman Grace Meng, New York 06. We Act, as an environmental justice thriving community technical assistance center, will help ensure that neighborhoods are better equipped to fight environmental issues that have damaged communities over the past few years. Challenges they have been facing for generations. House Democrats passed the Inflation Reduction Act to lower energy costs, confront the climate crisis with the fierce urgency of now, and set our planet forward on a sustainable trajectory. We are already starting to see the effects of this transformative legislation. I applaud the EPA for the designation of the We Act Environmental Justice Center in New York as one of the first environmental justice thriving community technical assistance centers. This funding will empower community partners to help to support and build capacity for programs focused on equitably combating the climate crisis here in New York City, said House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, New York 08. For too long, communities facing environmental justice challenges have been neglected even as they bear the biggest burden of the climate crisis impacts, said Congressman Nadler, New York 12. I'm proud to support EPA's investment in the ACT, which will equip the center with the tools necessary to address the long-standing conditions facing the West Harlem community, including disproportionately high asthma rates among children. The Environmental Justice Thriving Communities Technical Assistance Centers (EPA Tech) program provides grant funding to organizations around the nation working to address environmental justice and ensure these groups are supported with technical assistance and resources to broaden their engagement to serve more communities, said Congressman Adriano Espaillat, New York 13. I am delighted we ACT has been selected as an Environmental Justice Thriving Community Technical Assistance Center to continue its efforts to uplift underserved communities most susceptible to the impacts of climate change. There is no social justice without environmental justice, and our work must continue to ensure the green and equitable future that all Americans deserve. For too long, certain neighborhoods and communities have borne the burdens of pollution, with little to no resources and assistance to address these inequities. That needs to change. Our communities need to be supported by strong local, state, and federal partnerships that finally tackle historic environmental injustices. Today's announcement seeks to deliver that change. I look forward to working with We Act to ensure community-based organizations in New York's 20th Congressional District are able to receive the training and capacity building they need to enhance environmental justice throughout our capital region, said Congressman Paul Tonko, New York 20. Congressman Brian Higgins, New York 26, said, from Love Canal to the contaminated Buffalo River, the Buffalo-Niagara region has faced some of the nation's most monumental environmental challenges. Through this initiative, organizations here in Western New York will have a place to turn for information and support to provide the best opportunity to bring federal resources dedicated to addressing environmental justice home. Access to clean water and air should not depend on your zip code, Representative Norcross, NJ01, said. This new EPA grant program will provide local communities with the tools and resources needed to navigate the federal government and bring federal dollars back to our neighborhoods in South Jersey. I will continue to fight to level the playing field and improve the quality of life for all. Every American has a right to a safe and healthy environment, but far too many communities across New Jersey continue to pay a disproportionate price for pollution simply because of where they live, said Congressman Frank Pallone, Jr., NJ06, ranking member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee. I fought hard for meaningful environmental justice funding in the Inflation Reduction Act because it's critical that we ensure these overburdened communities have the federal resources they need to mitigate pollution and protect their families from dangerous health impacts. I'm glad to see that the Biden administration is prioritizing this important cause and ensuring communities have access to the critical technical assistance they need. I look forward to continuing to work with EPA to make sure every family can breathe clean air, drink safe water, and enjoy a clean future. I am pleased to hear that the EPA will be creating this thriving Community Technical Assistance Center to help cities and communities in the 10th Congressional District utilize federal funds and resources to clean up environmental pollution in low-income, minority-populated neighborhoods, said Congressman Donald M. Payne, Jr. Americans who live in these areas have been suffering from air and water pollution issues for too long. This environmental injustice needs to end. I am proud that the Biden administration has committed federal funds to do something about it. For generations, Black, brown, and low-income communities have disproportionately borne the brunt of climate change. Historically, our nation has refused to address the unique challenges these communities face, said Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman, NJ12. The EPA's Environmental Justice Thriving Communities Technical Assistance Centers program is a step toward righting this historical wrong and assisting vulnerable communities in New Jersey, and I thank the EPA for including the West Harlem Environmental Action Center. Everyone, regardless of their race, income, or zip code, deserves to breathe clean air and drink clean water. We Act is among 17 environmental justice thriving communities technical assistance centers, EPA. The EPA announced to receive a total of more than $177 million to remove barriers and improve accessibility for communities with environmental justice concerns. With this critical investment, these centers will provide training and other assistance to build capacity for navigating federal grant application systems, writing strong grant proposals, and effectively managing grant funding. In addition, these centers will provide guidance on community engagement, meeting facilitation, and translation and interpretation services for limited English-speaking participants, thus removing barriers and improving accessibility for communities with environmental justice concerns. Each of the technical assistance centers will also create and manage communication channels to ensure all communities have direct access to resources and information. EPA will deliver these resources in collaboration with the U.S. Department of Energy, whose funding allows the EPA Tech to provide support for identifying community opportunities for clean energy transition and financing options, including public-private partnerships supporting clean energy demonstration, deployment, workforce development, and outreach opportunities that advance energy justice objectives. The formation of the EPA Technical Assistance Centers is in direct response to feedback from communities and environmental justice leaders who have long called for technical assistance and capacity building support for communities and their partners as they work to access critical federal resources. The 17 centers will provide comprehensive coverage for the entire United States through a network of over 160 partners, including community-based organizations, additional academic institutions, and environmental finance centers, so that more communities can access federal funding opportunities like those made available through President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act and bipartisan infrastructure law. EPA has selected 3 national EPA that will provide additional assistance across the country, with particular capacity to assist tribes, including International City/County Management Association, Institute for Sustainable Communities, National Indian Health Board. Additional award information for each selectee will be announced in summer 2023. The EPA Tech program is part of the Federal Interagency Thriving Communities Network and delivers on the Biden-Harris administration's Justice 40 initiative to ensure that 40% of the benefits of certain federal investments flow to disadvantaged communities. Today's selection will ensure communities with environmental justice concerns can access President Biden's historic investments in America to address generational disinvestment, legacy pollution, infrastructure challenges, and build a clean energy economy that will lower energy costs, strengthen our energy security, and meet our climate goals. Today's announcement builds on the $100 million announced earlier this year under the Environmental Justice Government to Government Program and the Environmental Justice Collaborative Problem-Solving Cooperative Agreement Program, with applications due on April 14, 2023. Episode 56 CP. EPA has also announced $550 million through the Environmental Justice Thriving Communities Grant-Making Program, with applications due May 31, 2023. Learn more about the selectees, their partners, and the EPA Tech program. Learn more about environmental justice at EPA. West Harlem Environmental Action Incorporated, We Act for Environmental Justice, is a community-based organization that empowers communities of color and low-income residents to participate in the creation of sound and fair environmental policies and practices. Founded in 1988, We Act has been a leader in the national environmental justice movement and has influenced the creation of federal, state, and local policies affecting the environment. We Act works on various issues such as clean air, climate justice, healthy homes, good jobs, sustainable land use, and environmental education. We Act has collaborated with EPA on several occasions, including by participating in EPA's Environmental Justice Advisory Council. Peggy Shepard is co-founder and executive director of We Act and the first female chair of the National Environmental Justice Advisory Council to EPA. Follow EPA Region 2 on Twitter and visit our Facebook page. For more information about EPA Region 2, visit our website.